Hello, friends. Welcome to my perspectives, where we speak truth to power, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. I am your host, Iyah Iyah. Today's episode is this genocide? It's not for the faint-hearted. It is a call to conscience, a demand for accountability, and a plea for truth. Not manufactured rebuttals or well-rehearsed press statements. It is a call to the Nigerian government and the National Assembly to act, not to defend, but to also investigate. We are calling for a full public inquiry and coroner inquest into the persistent and widespread killings of Christians and other Muslim minority groups and communities across Nigeria, especially in the Middle Belt and the northeast and northwest zones of the country. The allegations of genocide must not be dismissed with a wave of a hand, as it has become the norm in this country today. Let's be clear, genocide is not a word to be thrown around lightly. According to the United Nations Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide of 1948, genocide is defined, and I quote, as an act or acts committed with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. Now, let us pause and reflect on what we have just said. When whole villages are razed, when targeted communities are attacked consistently over time, when children, women, the elderly, men are slaughtered in their homes, in their churches, in their mosques, at their farms, with little to no consequences for the perpetrators. What are we seeing? That's why we have asked the question, is this genocide? Well, is this not worth investigating, my friends and listeners? Is it not the very thing that the world condemned in Rwanda, in Bosnia, or in Darfur? And yet in Nigeria, we are met with pushbacks from government officials who usually rush to media houses and social media platforms with counter narratives. There's no genocide, there's no genocide. So they say. I'm sorry to say, it's just communal clashes. That's their word, not mine. Some say it's banditry, and others will go to the point of saying, oh, it's complex. Friends, let me say this plainly as I can. Rebuttals are not investigations. Denials are not justice. And silence is not neutrality. It is complicity. The victims of this violence over the years, those who have buried their loved ones, those who have lost their homes, those who have fled their ancestral lands, are in a far better position to describe their lived experience, their reality, than the spokespersons of government scrambling to save face. These are the people who matter, not the storytellers, not the politicians, not their surrogates, not their spokesperson. And let's not pretend the world is not blind to what's happening in Nigeria. International organizations, journalists, and religious freedom watchdogs have documented these patterns for years about Nigeria. The United States, the United Kingdom, the European Union, and lots of human rights watch groups have received lots of reports, some of which the Nigerian government has dismissed in the past and are still dismissing today, rather than engaging with it honestly. But the world is watching, and often the world knows more about what's happening in Nigeria than those in government, who seem more concerned about their re-election campaigns and political optics than the sacred duty of protecting the life and property of Nigerians. What do? I want to remind you today that pushbacks do not prove competence. Silence does not erase evidence, and pretending it's all under control does not make it so. Well, as we are a solution driven platform, let me make some proposals to my listeners. And if the government and their surrogates are listening, this is my take. Let the Nigerian government and the National Assembly establish a truth seeking mechanism, a public inquiry led by credible and independent individuals. Let there be a coroner inquest for all these mass killings to determine causes of death, pattern of attack, and those who are responsible for this carnage. Let the survivors speak, which include the widows, the displaced, the orphans. I mean, let them come out and, and state their claims. Nigeria must listen to their testimonies, not just having government spokesperson issue press releases. Friends, philosophers over the years have long warned us. Falsehood may run for a while, but truth always has a destination and a deadline. We saw it in the apartheid South Africa. We saw it in the Balkans. We saw it in Rwanda, where denial delayed justice but could not stop it. The Nigerian government can choose to be on the side of truth now or be dragged to it later by history, by international law, and by the voices of the dead who will not remain silent forever. Let us end this particular episode with this reminder. A government that fails to protect its citizens cannot claim moral authority, and a nation that buries truth to preserve power digs its own grave. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to this particular episode. It was difficult, very difficult to discuss this because of the emotions that come with it. Thank you for listening once again to the Iyah Iyah Perspectives. I urge you to stay safe, stay informed, and never stop asking the very hard questions that people in government are not comfortable to hear. Until next time, I am Iyah. If you do like this message, please subscribe to our channel and share it. Thank you for listening, and bye for now.